The Delk print appears to be a human footprint intersected by a dinosaur footprint in the same strata. According to evolutionists, such a specimen could not exist because the dinosaurs should have gone extinct 65 million years before humans ever existed. I really knew nothing of what to make of these contemporary dinosaur-human footprints, so I felt prompted to investigate. My scientific investigation begins with the circumstances of the discovery. According to Carl Baugh, the find's promoter, in July 2000, amateur archaeologist Alvis Delk, assisted by James Bishop, discovered a human footprint intruded by a dinosaur track while working in the Cretaceous limestone along the Paluxy River in Glen Rose, Texas. According to Delk, at first he thought it was only a dinosaur print, so he brought it home and let it sit in his collection. Around January of 2008, Delk was injured in a fall from a ladder, and in order to pay medical bills, decided in May of 2008 to sell some of his possessions. When he brushed off the track slab, he discovered the human print. He then sold the slab to Carl Baugh, founder of the Creation Evidence Museum. Baugh claims that the Delk specimen was then taken to a laboratory at the Glen Rose Medical Center where 800 x-rays were performed in a CT scan procedure. Technicians there verified compression and distribution features clearly seen in both prints, both human and dinosaur. According to Baugh, this removes any possibility that the prints were carved or altered. Why Baugh took the specimen to be scanned by a medical facility instead of the nearby University of Texas at Austin for a geological scan has not yet been addressed. The individuals involved leave something to be desired as far as reliability. Alvis Delk has made a modest living by forging realistic-looking arrowheads and selling them to tourists as authentic. This is a technique known as knapping. James Bishop has had legal issues, but has attempted to distance himself from the Alvis Delk find. So for the sake of this video, and his desire to be unassociated, I'll just consider him an unknowing participant. Carl Baugh, on the other hand, has had a very long history of promoting numerous creationist frauds such as these. So the circumstances and participants in the promotion of this find are certainly suspicious, but this could simply be a situation akin to the boy who cried wolf. Perhaps, after a history of fraud and despite suspicious circumstances, the find is genuine. The only way to know for sure is by examining the find itself. To date, Carl Baugh has never allowed the Delk print to be examined by scientists, but he has published several photos and many CT scans. Beginning with the human print, we can already see several obvious anomalies. The quickest way to find this is to try making your own version of the human print by stepping your own bare foot into some shallow mud. The chances are that you will not be able to recreate the impression of the big toe. The ball of the foot is at its deepest here, and the big toe is just as deep, but between them is a bit of very shallow material. It is highly unlikely that a human toe could curl to that extreme, let alone being long enough to make such an impression. Additionally, the foot has no arch whatsoever, and no differential between the front and back of the print. Typically, a human footprint has a deep ball and a shallow heel due to pushing off just before raising the foot to take the next step. Still, the ball of the foot is also uncharacteristically uneven here. The right side is much shallower before the left side suddenly becomes significantly deeper. For such a differential, the foot would have to be broken. The dinosaur print also has its own anomalies. Supposed by Baugh to be an Acrocanthosaurus print, the first thing you'll notice is that it looks nothing like a real Acrocanthosaurus print, nor any other dinosaur print for that matter. The only dinosaur print that it does resemble are these fake dinosaur prints sold on roadsides as souvenirs. Attempting to take it seriously, however, the first thing I notice is that the walls of the track contain several layers. This means that the individual must have been standing there for a long time, perhaps several days, as one layer was deposited and dried, followed by another, and so on. So perhaps the dinosaur died there and ended up with his foot in this position. One also can't help but notice that the human print is in the top layers, meaning that the human print would have had to have been made after the dinosaur print. So we have a dinosaur print that intrudes a human print that could not have been made before the dinosaur print was made. This in itself should be enough to show that the credibility of the find is unrealistic. But there's another anomaly. Along the bottom of both prints you can see flaking. This next observation is far from conclusive, but this would appear to be the result of an attempt at recreating a patina. A patina is usually formed by the oxidation of the outer layer of a mineral after it has been exposed to air. In this picture, the patina is the blue layer on the outside of the copper. Fake patinas can be created via chemical means, as in the case of the Ica stones, in which the stones were baked in cow dung, or the James ossuary, which the Israeli Antiquities Authority claims was given a patina via a chalk solution. The final, definitive proof of the find's authenticity, however, according to Baugh, lies in the CT scans. In any X-ray, the light portions are the more solid portions. According to Baugh, the CT scans all show the results of compression. Areas of compression would appear to be lighter as they would be harder. As you can see, there is no correlation between lighter areas and the prints. Between the circumstances of the find, the individuals involved, and the evidence that is available to us, there is no reason to conclude that the Delk print is genuine. If Baugh truly wanted to vindicate his claim, he would make the print available to scientists for independent peer review. Now, some may argue that the only reason any scientist would want to examine the Delk print is to disprove it. To that I say, of course. That's what peer review is. Every theory in science is subjected to rigorous peer review wherein it is repeatedly tested and challenged. Scientists from around the world do their best to show the errors in the initial scientists' work. If, after the best minds in the world have applied their scrutiny, the theory or finding still holds up, it begins to gain acceptance. Relativity, quantum mechanics, and evolution have all stood up to this scrutiny. That is why they are accepted by the vast majority of the scientific community. I was quite aware of peer review before the Delk print, but I had never realized how brutal the process is, nor how brutally the currently accepted theories have been tested. I had also never realized that creationists sought so eagerly and so often to circumvent peer review before asserting creationism upon science classes in our educational system. So this was just another example of how creationism taught me real science. Learn more about the real science behind other creationist arguments by watching other episodes. If there's a creationist argument you think I should investigate, please comment below. It may be the subject of a later video. In the meantime, subscribe and make sure you don't miss it.